Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Rangers Review morning briefing. It is Monday, the 8th of December. I'm Derek Clark, and I'm joined this morning by Chris Jack. How goes it, Chris?
Thankfully, unlike your previous stunt when you turned up with the swimming goggles on, you thankfully gave your colleague a heads up on your latest jolly japes this morning.
Bit tired this morning, Chris, that's all.
Bit tired this morning, are you?
Yeah, just a bit sleepy, but yeah, good to be back awake and to bring you the show this morning. Plenty to get our teeth stuck into today. Rangers getting back to winning ways on Saturday evening at Rugby Park. So we'll delve into that and what the landscape looks like at this moment in time. Before we delve in, just a quick word for our podcast sponsors, Willows Fencing, the Glasgow-based fencing company you can trust and proud partners of the Rangers Review. If you're looking for a new fence, these are the guys to call. They've got over 20 years of experience in the fencing trade. No job is too big or too small, and you get free consultations as well as 10% off with the code Rangers Review over on their website, which is willows-fencing.com. Right, as we touched on there, Rangers a winning weekend, you could say. Good to see them going to Rugby Park, which has been a bit of a stumbling ground in recent seasons, but yeah, they got the win against Kilmarnock. It wasn't scintillating and perfect, but it was a lot better. Bojan Miovski ending his goal drought with a double, 2 well-taken goals, and Mikey Moore returning with a goal as well. A fantastic goal from him. It really should have had 2, in all honesty. A fantastic finish for his second. But like at Dens Park not so long ago, it was ruled out for an infringement prior to the ball nestling into the back of the net. All things considered, Chris, and we're going to touch on Miovski and the sort of subtle alteration to his game. We'll discuss Mikey Moore and the likes, but good to see Rangers going to Rugby Park and getting all 3 points.
As you said there, Derek, Rugby Park has been a venue where Rangers' title aspirations have gone to die in previous seasons. I've been down there a number of times, number of difficult games, and Saturday evening had all the ingredients of a potential banana skin. Rangers under huge pressure to go and win on the back of a couple of draws, injuries, and a squad that's clearly still got huge questions to answer. And then you factor in weather Saturday night on that pitch. It just had all the ingredients. So for Rangers to come away with a 3-0 win, good 3 points. I spoke to Josh on our post-match show, and I asked him how big a night could this be, and ultimately you only know in the fullness of time. But given events the following day, which we'll also come on to and speak about the bigger picture in the title race, it felt like a really important 3 points for Rangers on Saturday. And as you say, striker scoring goals, that'll never catch on. Good to see Mikey Moore coming back, and I thought he was really hard done by not to get himself a double on the night as well.
Yeah, it was terrific. I think you can see just how much Rangers have missed him in recent weeks, and good to see him back so early. I mean, the previous diagnosis, of course, when Danny Rowe came out was it was looking like the end of December. So yeah, fantastic to see him back involved, and he's really starting to show what he's all about at this point in time. Miovski with the double, took his first goal well, I think, broke a bodies, although if I'm Stuart Kettlewell, and I know he gets sent off later on, very frustrated. You're asking questions about your defenders and not getting near enough. But yeah, good finish into the corner. And the second one, fantastic as well. Good technique to get the touch and then strike it back into the near side corner. And that will do him the world a good in terms of his confidence. This is what you had to say, incidentally, folks, after the game, after bagging his brace.
I didn't have a lot of game time the last year, so I was just trying to find consistency and to get in shape, to collect more minutes on the pitch, and I'm starting to get that. And of course, I feel better, more sharper on the pitch, and of course, I'll try to keep going.
Yep. So some of the criticisms of Bojan Miovski in recent times, Chris, was that he didn't look fit, and he's obviously alluded to it himself there. But the more minutes I guess he gets, hopefully the idea is he'll get much sharper, and we may see the fruits of that with regards to goals going in.
It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? I think that was a bit more the Miovski that the Rangers fans thought they were going to be seeing a lot earlier this season. Of course, it does take different players time to settle in. We know all the issues of playing at Rangers. It's not just going on the park and performing. There's a whole lot of other things come into it when you are a Rangers player. Maybe it's just taken Bojan a wee bit of time to get up to speed and to settle in, but Saturday was certainly a lot more like it. And for me, encouraging the way that he finished both goals. The first one is a bit of a opportunistic one. It's a wee bit of a poacher's goal.
Yeah,
Gets the ball and doesn't try and take another touch. Doesn't try and look for another option and try and set someone else up. Realised that the chance was there. A bit of a toe poke, but they all count, and he found the corner well. The second one is a nice move in the build-up from Rangers. And again, I think earlier on in the season, Miovski probably doesn't finish that. I think even it only being half an hour, 45 minutes after his first, I think that showed a wee bit more confidence and a bit more belief in himself to have that awareness to cut inside and then to finish it well. So hopefully that's the sign of more to come. We've spoken an awful lot about the Rangers' number 9 options, and rightly so this season. They need to find someone who can find the back of the net consistently and who can lead the line consistently. Would point people to Josh's piece on the website this morning, looking at how Miovski's role has changed and the number of different ways that he's now more involved in the Rangers build up. If that is something that Danny Rule has identified and he believes that that's going to get the best out of Miovski, I say hopefully Saturday night was the start of him going on the kind of run that we all believed he was capable of when he first came back to Scottish football.
Yeah, let's hope so. He's certainly got the jersey right now. And there's a piece on the website, folks, with Joshua going into detail as to why Miovski ended that goal drought as an improvement in performance. I'm going to turn into Joshua for just a second. I'm going to flash up this little graph here. You can see this is Miovski's passes in that game on Saturday evening, and the change was he wasn't just restricted to his usual number 9 position and locked in the centre of the pitch. Instead, he was popping up in different locations on the park. He was given more of a free rein by Danny Rule and making more passes, getting more involved. And let's hope that is a sign of things to come. Absolutely good, positive step in the right direction for Rangers. Mikey Moore, as you mentioned, a lot of the plaudits as well, but a few comments coming in, and I wanted to bring this up. Chris and a few others says a word for Connor Barron on Saturday. Technically he's limited, but no one can question his work rate and willingness to get forward on Saturday. Can be a handy player for us in certain games. Probably arguably the man of the match. Chris, I think he's been really good. Certainly since Danny Rule's come in. You know what you're getting with Connor Barron, deserving of his starting place in the Rangers midfield. And Nico Raskin hasn't exactly been the vintage Nico Raskin that we all expect, but at least Connor Barron has been stepping up. I think he's been really good.
I think ultimately, and bigger picture wise, do Rangers need better than Connor Barron? Yes, but that doesn't mean to say that he can't have a big part to play right now. That might sound quite harsh, but Rangers need a midfielder, I think, who is better on the ball than Connor Barron. But as Chris says there in the comment, you know what you're getting from him in terms of application and work rate. And I think the effort that he cleared off the line summed that up. Now, he was aware of the danger. He knew how that move could unfold and continued the run. Didn't just give it up when he saw the ball being knocked past the keeper. And given the replay that we saw, that clearly shows that the attacker was inside his own half. That goal, if the ball found the back of the net, that goal stands. So fair play to Barron for that one. A number of other moments, he's sweeping things up. He's covering an awful lot of ground. Does he have to use the ball better? He does. Could he add a goal or two to his game? I think he could do. He gets himself in a couple of positions, but finishing leaves a fair bit to be desired. That has to say, but thoroughly deserving of the praise that he's got since Saturday. I thought he was the man of the match. Doesn't grab the headlines obviously as a returning Mikey Moore or a 2-goal Miovski, but for him to put in that shift, something that you need at Rugby Park. Now, we mentioned it at the top of the show. Rangers have gone there previously and had teams with a higher quality than Kilmarnock. Of course they have, but they've been outfought, they've been outworked, they've not done the dirty side of it. They've not just gone about their business in a proper manner to then allow the good players to go and thrive, and that's what Barron was able to achieve on Saturday. His effort and the way that he went about his business, that's really the foundation. That was the foundation for that victory, should I say?
Yeah, it certainly was. Danny Rule was asked, did you bring the best performances against Falkirk and Dundee United today? He said, yeah, great result, 3-0. We had less chances today, but we were more clinical. A clean sheet is always helpful. I think it's also important how we defend at the moment. The set play much, much better. I think that helps us get us here now. I'm happy with the result. To win away 3-0, it's always helpful. And after the last 3 draws, then you want to win. And today we did. Yeah, good to get a clean sheet, which is something that Rangers have struggled with as well, as we all know. But that's I know there was bumps in the road last week at home to Falkirk, then of course at Tannadice as well, Chris. But good to get another victory under his belt, and you can clearly see a marked improvement from Danny Rule as opposed to Russell Martin. God forbid if Rangers had stuck with their previous guy in charge. I don't think they would have had anywhere near the sort of upturn in results. I mean, the performances are still not there, but he's coming in. He said he was going to start. The key objective is to start winning football matches, and he's doing that.
5 wins from 7 is a good return.
Yeah.
I think the frustration is that it should have been 7 from 7. You look at a home game against Falkirk, and that's a game that Rangers simply have to be winning, and they were unable to. You look at the number of chances and how that game up at Tannadice last midweek unfolded. Again, a game that Rangers simply have to be winning. So I think if you had offered the fans and probably offered Danny Rule and staff and players when he first arrived on that Monday morning and said you'll win 5 out of your first 7 Premiership games and you'll be in the position that you are in terms of the table, I think he would have taken it. But it's a perception thing. I think because the drop points have come in the games that they have done. If the drop points had been Kilmarnock away, a venue that Rangers have dropped points at previously, and been Easter Road away, you say, well, no, they're really tricky ones, but we'll take a point. Having gone to Easter Road and won, having gone to Kilmarnock and won, people then rightly say it should have been 6 out of 7, it should have been 7 out of 7. That's the frustration, but we know the limitations of this group. That has been added to in recent weeks because of the injury situation. So Danny Rule is having to find different solutions on a game by game basis with a squad that's evolving. Some players are improving, some players are not. Give it a couple of weeks and there will be additions to this squad as well. So I think he would have taken the situation domestically. Europe is obviously an issue, and we can all but write that off, even if as we could turn our attentions to that game on Thursday night. But I think the domestic improvement has been welcomed. Is there more to come? I think so. Where that further improvement takes us, well, that's the bit that Rangers fans are waking up on a Monday morning being slightly more excited and optimistic about now. Whereas we've done a number of these Monday shows over the course of the season, and the mood has been nowhere near what it is now. It's amazing what a win and a defeat for Celtic can do for a bit of morale.
Yeah, good weekend in the main. Good result for Hearts yesterday as well. They were great yesterday, but yeah, you look at it, Rangers have got that game in hand on the Jambos, and if they win that, they're just 6 points behind, which is incredible, really, when you think about the disastrous start that Rangers have had. They're still in this, amazingly. And you look at the run of fixtures that are on the horizon. You quite rightly say Ferencváros will take care of itself. Incidentally, folks, we're going to get an ex-Ferencváros player on, someone I know well, tomorrow afternoon. He'll give us a bit of insight into what we can expect on Thursday. But yeah, I'm with you, Chris. It's all about trying to stick some money in the Ibrox coffers from here on in with those games that are remaining. And then Rangers at home to Hibs on Monday the 15th, which is an interesting one, a 7:45 p.m. kickoff in that game. And a huge match away to Hearts Sunday the 21st, a 1:30 kickoff there at Tynecastle. Then after Christmas, Rangers host Inform Motherwell on the 27th. And then also Ibrox 3 days later at home to St Mirren prior to the New Year Old Firm clash at Parkhead. Looking at that run of fixtures, that run of 4 games, Chris, realistically, what you're looking at there, you like to be optimistic, but I can't see Rangers taking 12 points from those games.
Let's feed into the Monday morning optimism and say that Rangers will pick up 12 from 12.
That'll be absolutely fantastic if they do that. Incidentally,
if they do, then that's a real statement of intent from, again, as we keep saying, a squad that has shown very, very little to suggest that they could be challengers this season. Never mind actual champions. I think, as you pointed to be in this situation where you've got a sniff of it, given everything that has gone on at Ibrox over the last 6 months or so, between a transfer window that clearly wasn't good enough, the Russell Martin era, the sackings of Kevin Thelwell and Patrick Stewart, a new regime getting their feet under the table, the injury situation, so much has gone on. So for Rangers to even have a crack at the title heading into the second half of the season would be quite something. That run of games will tell us an awful lot about how realistic those chances are. Any run where you've got Hibs, Hearts, 2 games against Aberdeen and Celtic clearly speaks for itself in terms of its importance and what it can do. You've also got Motherwell and St Mirren over the festive period as well. Games that, given their seasons for different reasons, you can't write off. St Mirren will come and they'll make it really difficult. Motherwell clearly been really impressive over the course of the season so far. So, and as the Falkirk game showed, there's no gimmies right now. You wouldn't still back this Rangers side to go and just blow teams away or to go and win games relatively comfortably on a regular basis. If they can grind out a number of wins over the next few weeks, get themselves to the January window and then do business, and importantly do business early, then anything's possible. And I think if that chain of events does unfold, we will see the mood on this show and the mood for the comments really start to pick up, and hopefully that then feeds into the manager and feeds into the squad, because there's, safe to say, there's not been much of a rapport between those on the pitch and those off it at times this season. It's been a really difficult few months. The club have to try and find a way of start to build that rapport, build that synergy again. Easiest way to do that is win games.
Yep, that absolutely is. Love this. War P says was sat in the hot tub with Mikey Moore at David Lloyd yesterday afternoon. So there you go. Have you ever shared a hot tub with an ex-Ranger or a Rangers-related individual, folks? Do let us know, a hot tub or a sauna or a steam room. I'm keen to hear your points on that one. Have you, Chris, ever encountered a hell suite with an ex or a current Rangers player?
Evidence once again that this show is live and completely unscripted. Where the first 10 minutes are generally scripted when we're going through the tactics chat, and then after that, anything is possible. Off the top of my head, I don't think I have. If anything comes to mind over the course of the day, I'll text you and we can come back to it later in the week. But I don't think so. No.
Yeah, hopefully you congratulated him on his scoring return as well, buddy. But interesting stuff indeed. Some other big talking points from the game involves the refereeing. Poor again, it's fair to say, but you know our thoughts on the refereeing. It's nowhere near good enough. Neil with a point says some of the referee decisions and VR decisions were baffling. This needs to be repaired sooner rather than later. Well, I don't think it will be sorted out, Neil, on that front. Big takeaway, we mentioned that the Mikey Moore goal, it's consistency for me. I mean, we've seen last season's League Cup final when Diamandi was clipped before Celtic scored a goal at Hampden. I don't see what the difference between that and what happened on Saturday night. And also you can even go more recently back to Wednesday night. Was it Nico Raskin that was sort of fouled on the edge of the areas that the Dundee United boy ran through and scored? You're just looking for a bit of consistency, and you just don't get that in Scottish football. So I'd be raising questions about that. I think the foul was in David Watson, just a coming together of legs. Then there was the Jack Butland one. Should he or should he not have been sent off? I've seen some suggesting he's a lucky boy to stay on the park. His challenge on Bruce Anderson. Your thoughts on that, Chris?
I think bigger picture, and we speak a lot about refs and the standard, and you mentioned consistency there. That's all that Rangers supporters are looking for, and that's all that Rangers as a club are looking for. They've been very very vocal about referees, both privately and in public, not just this season but in previous seasons, and they're not doing that to try and curry favour and to try and sway referees to give them more decisions or to favour them. They're trying to raise the standard, because, as we say almost every time we discuss the officials, the standard is just not good enough. There's too many decisions, game to game, week to week, that our show and other shows are then entitled to go on and discuss and pick apart. It's fine, Willie Collin coming on, sorry, and being able to apologise. That's great, but we need Willie to actually to raise the standard of the officiating. No, apologies don't get you 3 points. Going through incidents on shows weeks after the event does nothing. I don't think that actually raises the confidence levels in the officials, because every time a mistake's made, clubs across the country are victim of it, and you see fans saying, well, just wait till Willie's on TV and that'll be another apology. It's become that common, and it's only become that common because the standard isn't there. Killie clearly upset by a couple of calls at the weekend. Thought Butland, it's a 50-50 one. I think he's perhaps lucky, but I don't think it's the biggest injustice. The Diamandi one with the tug in the shirt, I thought he was lucky. I was surprised that he got away with that. I thought that was a foul. Yep. But as a sure Kettlewell certainly made his feelings clear. He didn't have to be a lip reader to understand his final message to the officials as he headed up the tunnel.
Yeah, I've not seen a bottle kick like that since Neil Lennon back Inverness back in the day. I don't think you can have too many you can't be kicking water bottles these days. Unfortunately, the game's gone. But there you go. We've got some brilliant comments coming in about bumping into Rangers players in health clubs and the likes. Like this from Ross Bright. He says, my wife waxed Miovski's nose and eyebrows on Friday and taking full credit for him sniffing out 2 goals. So there you go. Willie says, Mark Hateley used to shop in Tesco. I worked in 20 years ago. So there you go. Mr. Big Bertie seen Mark Hateley near the baths in Helensburgh once. Keep those comments coming in, folks. And I noticed this as well. We'll touch on this. Chris says, when's the Rangers Review going on the road again? Other rival podcasts are doing it. Why can't you lads? Enjoyed the last one at Edmonton House, so get on to Johnny and tell him to get it sorted. We do plan, Chris, thank you for bringing that up, is in the pipeline. We do plan to stage another live show in the future. When that will be, I'm not entirely sure, but as soon as we find out and get a date and a venue sorted, then we will let you know. Looking forward to that, Chris, whenever it materialises.
I wouldn't say they were rival podcasts. I say there's enough enough scope in the Rangers world for all of us to coexist and get on jolly. But no, I certainly wish the boys well. They've also got a show coming up in a couple of weeks, so looking forward to that one. I wish them well with that. In terms of ours, still very much in the early planning stage. If people want to go and bombard Johnny, then I'm sure he'll take that. He'll take that well. No, as you say, we will try and get something sorted at some point. As per usual in the Rangers calendar, it's a timing issue because it's a very busy schedule, and trying to get everyone in the same place at the same time when there's scope to do it, it can be tricky. But no, we will do something. It'd be good to go and meet another handful, another full room full, should I say, of review watchers. Something that has picked up now out and about these days. A number of people always come up and say they enjoy the show, or they want to go and chat about things that we've written, things that we've said, just chat about Rangers in general. So it's always appreciated when people show their support for the show.
Yep. Mark gets in touch. He says, I had a swim with Lee McCulloch in the Hilton Bells Hill. Good gym there. We used to go there back in day, about 20 odd years ago now. But they're living well. Always enjoy going in there because they give you a towel at reception. Well looked after. I don't know if they still do that. But you've been to the Hilton Bells Hill, Chris?
Right, it's not that far from me, but I've not actually. I might go. I'll get a swim booked in this week, just in the off chance I can bump into Jig. I've not seen him for a while, so it'd be good to catch up with him.
Yes, most certainly. Another issue, off-field issue. I know there's a few comments coming in, so we'll touch on it. Neil says, is the Pyro display going to get us in trouble? I was under the impression we're on our last warning. So this was the pyrotechnics display from the away end on Saturday evening, and it looks likely to trigger a sanction imposed on the club by the SPFL. Back in October, Rangers were handed a suspended reduction of 50 tickets for a future away match in an SPFL competition. Said at the time the reduction would be triggered in the event of another breach of Rule H37 through pyrotechnic use by the club supporters at an away match in any SPFL competition on or before the 30th of June 2026. So it looks like that will come into effect. It remains to be seen which match will be affected by that. Now, it looks great on TV. However, if the club are getting into trouble, I think financially, if the club are getting into trouble and if folk are getting injured, then it's an issue, Chris.
It is, and it's something I think everyone was aware of after that display and after that fine at the start of the season. As soon as the Pyro was lit up at Rugby Park, I think a number of people would have thought that's Rangers done for there. That's that action going to come back, or that's that fine going to come into action. So, as you say, it looks great on the TV from that perspective. I understand the attraction of it, but if it's costing the club, fans have to look at the bigger picture. Even more importantly, there's more. There's a report in the Herald this morning from Matthew Lindsay that a young Rangers fan was actually hurt and sustained injuries as a result of that display, and that clearly has to trump everything. Now, you can lose 50 tickets, Rangers can pay 50 grand, but if you are putting the health and well-being and safety of your own fans at risk, then the bigger picture has to be looked at. Far more important things than just tickets for an away game. So hopefully that young fan is okay, and he's and the treatment that he was able to receive on that night is okay. I think there's a statement from the club in that piece this morning saying that they'll continue to liaise with the family, which is a nice touch. So hopefully the club can do something to cheer him up, because that would have taken the shine clearly off a good night that he goes away down to Killie, just looking forward to going supporting his team. He doesn't deserve that. So I say best wishes to him, and bigger picture, the fans and the section of support that's doing it. As I say, I understand why they think it adds to the atmosphere from afar. Yes, but if you're involved in it and you don't wish to be, then that's clearly a bigger issue.
Yeah, here. John gets in touch. He says, I met John Greig and Brian Laudrup at Glasgow Airport. When he came to sign, I helped them avoid the press and get out the side gate. Love that, John. Absolutely fantastic. We'll wrap up with this, Chris, before we call time on today's show. It's a story on our website this morning. It came from Spain, the publication Estadio Deportivo reports over there that the Real Betis sporting director, Manu Farjado, may have just butchered that name, but he was linked to the vacant sporting director job at Ibrox. He's spoken to the press in Spain. He says he's solely focused on matters at Real Betis. He says, I work with the same humility and same commitment. Whether people talk about you good or bad, it's always positive, but I'm focused on my club. So it doesn't say a lot about that, but of course Rangers are looking for a replacement for Kevin Thilwell. Expecting movement on that soon, Chris, do you reckon?
define soon. I don't want to put timescales on it. I'm not putting timescales on it, because people will then say, you said it would be 3 weeks and it's 3 weeks in one day, or you said it would be 4 months and it's turned into 9 months, and I'll turn into my fault, and I'll be getting Grim Reaper things sent at me on social media. So let's save that until January. There'll be enough of that in January. The process for both is ongoing. Andrew Kavanagh and Parag Marathi have also taken up that search, and they are very much on the case. Down in London last week, and they have spoken to potential candidates to try and add to the off-field staff, which clearly they have to. I think the key message that's come out from the club and people that we've spoken to about it, they're no rush. It's not a case of we have to get someone in just for the sake of it. I think they are fully aware that mistakes have been made this season. That's safe to say, in terms of sporting director appointments, certainly in terms of the managerial appointment, and Patrick Stewart's reign also speaks for itself as well. So they're aware that this has to be right, and that they have to get candidates who understand the job that they are taking on, who understand Rangers, who understand Glasgow, who understand Scottish football. So I don't expect to see anything imminent, but it's a process that is still ongoing. But I think the focus certainly is giving Danny Rule as much support and everything that he needs over these next few weeks, then giving him some financial support in January to go and add to the squad, and these appointments will get made when they get made.
Yes, absolutely. Right, folks, I think that will do us there. We'll just touch on this. Mr. Big Bertie gets in touch. We don't normally do this. Instead, you need to mention Nancy's tactic board. Yeah, I did watch the game yesterday. I know it's lots of memes are being made about it as well. Not a good look. If I was a Celtic supporter, I would be a tad concerned about. I think it's just when I was on with Johnny last week, he said it's a bit of a strange one making that change, and I agree. He's got some big matches coming up and not the best of starts, and that I think could be a benefit for Rangers. Chris, let's just hope that is the case.
I didn't actually see the game yesterday. I was out for lunch, so I didn't see it. But my phone was clearly busy and was beeping every so often with my goal updates, and then, as you say, the odd meme and the odd picture that's been doing the round as well. Of course, Rangers have to have an eye on what's happening at Celtic. Now that's the barometer. That's how you're judged. That's the team that, personally, I think they still have to beat. I see Celtic as a bigger or a more likely champion than Hearts right now. So clearly, Rangers have to have an eye on what's happening over there. Safe to say they've got enough to focus on at Ibrox in terms of their own business and own form, and how they conduct themselves and how they try and improve themselves. But it's a big couple of weeks, and I spoke about it 10 minutes or so ago. The weeks that are coming up for Rangers and for Danny Rule, it's a huge couple of weeks for Celtic. Also, a European game against Roma on Thursday. Then get into the cup final. They've got their own festive schedule to get through, and of course the Old Firm game in January as well. So there's a lot for them to focus on as well. But Rangers, they just need to keep asking questions of Celtic. Been one of my biggest bugbears over recent seasons, that Rangers, they've never been able to actually capitalise on any slight issue that Celtic have had, or any weakness that they've shown. Rangers have been too far back. They've had too many of their own issues to be dealing with, and they've never been able to go and ask the question and to go and put a bit of pressure on. That's the opportunity that they now have. And if Celtic then handle that and they're going to win the league, there's nothing Rangers can do about it. If Rangers can turn the screw a wee bit and it turns out that Celtic then can't handle it, that could potentially open the door for Danny Rule.
Yep, let's hope so. As we touched on there, just 6 points behind if Rangers do win that game in a hand on top of the table. Hearts, who don't look like going anywhere anytime soon. Right, a heads up for you guys that are Rangers Review Extra members. We'll be hosting our Q&A this afternoon at 1 p.m. usual time. So I'll pop out the request over on the community page. Get your questions in, folks, and we'll get through as many as we possibly can. If you want to join and become a Rangers Review Extra member, just hit that join button, hit the join button on the homepage of the Rangers Review YouTube channel. Big thank you to Chris. Thank you to you all for tuning in. I'm away to play some Connect 4. I think that I might have a wee game of that perhaps. But yeah, if I don't speak to you, then enjoy your Monday and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.